Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. The nectar of thy words revives the scourged spirit of human beings. They purify the sinner and are the life of the holy. To hear them itself is auspicious and peace generating. They are the real givers who spread thy name far and wide. Welcome to the Friday scripture class. And from the Mangalacharan, we understand that today the scripture is the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is such a wonderful scripture. Um, One Swami says it is Panchama Veda, it's Veda itself, the fifth Veda. There are four Vedas, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Another book as valid, as authoritative, as pure, as enlightening as the Veda is Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. One literature, very high class literature of Karnataka, Kuvempu is his nickname, Kuvempu. He writes about the glory of gospel, that when you have gospel in your hand, you have everything you have got. In whose house there is gospel, that house is a temple. And says the glory of the gospel. If you read gospel, you read all scriptures together. That is the glory of gospel that we are reading. Continuing for so many years, we are gospel. We are today in 1884, conversation recorded in 1884, 23rd March. The chapter is Rules for Householders and Monks. Chapters and the title all were given by M, the recorder of the gospel, Mahendranath Gupta. Sri Ramakrishna spoke almost every day whenever devotees came, and he had the mine of spiritual knowledge, practical, and the blessing. He used to just distribute without any reserve. Yam used to come mostly on Sundays. Sometimes he stayed there for about 1 month, once in this 4 years that he was with Sri Ramakrishna. And whenever he was there, he used to record everything of what Sri Ramakrishna spoke, mostly in points, sometimes in just few sentences or words. And then later on, through meditation, he used to develop the whole conversation. In the exact words that Sri Ramakrishna spoke, that the others asked questions, that others gave comment, and Sri Ramakrishna explained. He even put the words of Sri Ramakrishna, exactly the language of Kamarpukur, where Sri Ramakrishna grew up, was born and grew up. The language, the dialect in Bengali, which M was not familiar. He grew up in Kolkata. That dialect was different from the dialect of Kamarpukur. There were many uncommon words. But M was so faithful and so sharp intellect was M. As Guru, similar disciple. Sri Ramakrishna is called Shrutidhar. Whatever he has heard, he just retains that. He doesn't forget. That was M. So bright was M. And M also was Shrutidhar. Whatever he heard, the words, the language, the tone, he always remembered those. And he later on, when he went to house, he meditated on the whole scenery, and whole thing came in front of his mind by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, and he recorded in the same language, and he could see long discussion, many people coming, one after another. It unfolded to him what Sri Ramakrishna talked with devotees, what another devotee intercepted between that, what he spoke and explained to other devotees. So many devotees, so many conversations. It looks like someone recorded on some tape recorder, or nowadays cell phone that we have, and later on by listening little portion he put it like that. But there was no tape recorder that time. There was no recording at all. Electronic recording was not there. So all had to be done by his recording in his mind. So perfect was the recorder that he could reproduce as it came. And when the gospel in Bengali was read to Holy Mother, conversation, he says, "Oh, I feel like Sri Ramakrishna is speaking." She felt that authenticity. And Swami Vivekananda was also very happy. So, Yam, you have hit at the right point. You have done exact so faithfully. And he was very pleased, Swami Vivekananda. That was M's special quality for us. Without M, we would not have got Sri Ramakrishna's words in his words directly in Bengali. And the translation into English by Swami Nikhilanandaji is also very correctly done. Sometimes it doesn't match with the Bengali, but if you see the bhava in Bengali, that Nikhilanandaji has tried to put the feeling, the exact what was meant by that word. Sometimes it may differ that way. Something in English translation has been omitted by Nikhilanandaji that was not relevant to the audience in the West, but the main thing he has retained, and the flavor of the Kathamrita also has been retained in this wonderful and great translation by Swami Nikhilananda of the original Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita recorded by him. Now, Sri Ramakrishna saying rules for householders and monks. It was very interesting, I also told earlier. There were no monks there sitting. There were the young disciples, Nitya Gopal, Ram, and others were there. But he used to talk about what a monk should do. Why Sri Ramakrishna has to talk the rules of monks to the householders? Because it was all planned by Divine Mother. That this book is not meant only for monks or not only for householders. It is for the whole world of all professions, equally for monks and householders. That's why, while explaining to the householder, he would talk about what is the ideal of monks, and that's how we get the gospel that is valid for all humanity of all races. And this gospel is taught. We Ramakrishna order, naturally, this is our like the Vedas, as I told you. This is our very important scripture. Follow for the followers of Ramakrishna mission and for the followers of Ramakrishna and the monks of the Ramakrishna mission. But this also is taught in other organizations other than the Ramakrishna mission. And monks and some organizations have nuns also. They are said to read the gospel a few pages every day to strengthen their love for God and their knowledge of God. So that is how its importance about the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. After this, let us go into what is Sri Ramakrishna is talking on 23rd March 1884. Conversation had already started. Who was there? Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room after his midday meal with Rakhal, Ram, and other devotees. So Rakhal was the one who would become monk later on. Sri Ramakrishna knew all that, and that may be one reason he used to talk about the ideal of monks, rules for monks. So Sri Ramakrishna now talks about Vaishnavacharan. Vaishnavacharan was a quite famous scholar of that time and also a saintly person, Vaishnavacharan. So he was interested in spirituality. Also was a very good scholar, studied the scriptures very thoroughly. So Sri Ramakrishna reminisces about Vaishnavacharan's visit to him. Vaishnavacharan said to me, if a person looks on his beloved as his Ishta, he finds it very easy to direct his mind to God. The men and women of a particular sect at Shambajar, near Kamarpukur, say to each other, whom do you love? I love so and so. Then know him to be your God. When I heard this, I said to them, we'll read Sri Ramakrishna's reaction about this certain sect in Shambajar. It is Fului Shambajar. It's not the Shambajar of Kolkata, but Shambajar, Fului Shambajar, near Kamarpukur, a village. So here he says about Vaishnavacharan, saying he appreciates that if a person looks on his beloved as his Ishta, he finds it very easy to direct his mind to God. So each time we choose in our life a particular form of God. And when that Ishta is seen as the God, whole God, that's not the form of God. God is seen in Ishta. God, Ishta is not separate from God. When that is done, God reveals himself as Ishta. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna was said by Vaishnavatan, and Sri Ramakrishna takes it to the heart that it is very easy to direct his mind to God. Just meditate on your Ishta as God. Ishta can be any divine form. Ishta can be any, even sometimes any saint can be Ishta. But that Ishta or chosen ideal whose teachings and whose life you follow, who impresses you most, who you feel is your real guide in your life. That Ishta is not other than God. As Kabir Das also said, Guru and Govinda are one. So by the help of Guru, I went to Govinda. Ishta is God himself. God has taken the form of Ishta. When one sees Ishta as God, the God reveals in his full form. As Sri Krishna says in the Gita, if bhaktya tu ananya shakta aham evam vidhojuna yatum drastuncha tatvena pravestuncha parantapa. When you know me by ananya bhakti, the devotion that is not diverted to anywhere else, the love will totally focus on me. You know me, Gyatum Drastuncha Tattvena. You know me with Tattva. You know me in reality. And after knowing that, you enter into me. Vishate Tadanantaram. You become one with me. You become totally consumed with me. You become full of God. You become divine when you know God with Ananya Bhakti. That one pointed devotion here that Vaishnavacharan had said to Sri Ramakrishna. Now he talks about one sect where men and women they live together and they are said to accept each other as God. So what? Let's see the conversation. You will understand. Uh, I love so and so. Then know him to be your God. Whomever that person loves, another person is God. When I heard this, I said to them, that is not my way. I look on all women as my mother. I found out that they talked big about but led immoral lives. The women then asked me if they would have salvation. Yes, I said, if you are absolutely faithful to one man and look up on him as your God, but you cannot be liberated if you live with five men. Somehow, spiritual practice was little, it is diverted. It is not pure. It is not the pure form. Maybe a few among them may be very spiritually elevated, but very few percentage. Otherwise, it is just a slippery and people slip because there is no uh, continence is not observed, that high value is not observed. The philosophy is even among the enjoying of the world. You should put your mind fully focused on God, and you are not deviated or diverted your mind. That is very slippery ground. Sri Ramakrishna says it might be a way to reach God for a very few, but it is the backdoor path. It is not the real path. You should not try to go to that path. So that he said to the women of that sect, it's called Kartavada sect, a type of Vaishnava sect, where that is seen, that whom you love, you see as God. That was the thing in them. It was as if they were doing sadhana, but more of that was the immoral practice, had script into that. So Sri Ramakrishna said, if you fix your mind on one person and see him as God, then only there is chance of liberation. Otherwise, it is extremely difficult. Don't go to that path. It is suitable maybe for a few among many. So such paths should be not try it. So says Sri Ramakrishna. And for him, he says, I look every woman as mother. So no way of mine or the people who follow me take me as the ideal, following such path like the Kartavaja. Ram. So the Ram was there, who was Sri Ramakrishna's great disciple. He considered Sri Ramakrishna as avatar, the Ramchandra Datta. He says, I understand that Kedar Babu has recently visited Kartavaja place. So he says about the Kedar Babu, whom Sri Ramakrishna used to like. He was very devoted to Sri Ramakrishna also. So he also went to Kartavaja. So he just gave the information. Master, he gathers honey from various flowers. So he doesn't really really appreciate that Kedar Babu will go to other places other than following his own ideal, the purest ideal, to Ram, Nitya Gopal, and others. If a devotee believes 100% that his chosen ideal is God, then he attains God and sees Him. So you have to look upon your chosen ideal as God to his followers that he is saying, Sri Ramakrishna is saying that consider a chosen ideal as God, none other than God. Don't have idea that he is my like the guru of my sect, or he is someone very saintly person, and God is different. No, he is God has become this person for me so that I evolve myself spiritually. So if you have that 100% faith in God, then you can attain God and see Him. People of bygone generations had tremendous faith. He talks about the faith and love of God. Now brings the people of village. They might have not read a lot of Shastras, Upanishads, but how much faith and love some people had, he gives example. People of bygone generations had tremendous faith. What faith Haladhari's father had. Once he was on the way to his daughter's house when he noticed some beautiful flowers and bilwa leaves. He gathered them for the worship of the family deity and walked back 5 or 6 miles to his own house. So Haladhari was Sri Ramakrishna's distant relative. He was after Ram Kumar, he became the priest of Kali temple before Sri Ramakrishna. But somehow this Haladhari couldn't continue. But he was a very devoted person, and it is his Sri Ramakrishna talking about Haladhari's father. So Haladhari's father was very devoted, a village man, but very devoted. How much devoted? When he saw while going to his daughter's house, Haladhari's father is going to daughter's house, and suddenly he saw a billow tree with new bale leaves have come, and beautiful flowers have come in the spring season. And then, instead of continuing to his desired goal, he plucked the flowers and the billow leaves and came back to his house 6 miles walking. Had gone 6 miles already, 6 miles back, like 2 hours. And then he worshipped the deity with heart's content. So that was greater joy. There is a joy in going and meeting daughter. But when God's love has come in between, he found that he can offer these beautiful flowers and the new billow leaves to the deity. He put aside his worldly duty, and God became priority. And he came back, worshipped God with all the mantras and those articles of billow leaves and flowers. And then after that, he might have started same day later or maybe the other day. But priority became offering to God, loving God, being connected with God through worship, through ritualistic worship. So Sri Ramakrishna praises Haladhari's father's this act and his faith and love for God. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna is saying, the great love. Once a theatrical troupe in the village was enacting the life of Rama. When Kaikeyi asked Rama to go into exile in the forest, Haradhari's father, who had been watching the performance, sprang up. He went to the actor who played Kaikeyi, crying out, "You wretch!" and was about to burn the actor's face with a torch. So, like that, so much absorbed he was, and so much of love for Rama he had that acting was forgotten. He was as if seeing the Rama and Kaikeyi. Rama had to go to forest, and the Rama will get trouble. So much identified with the character that the actors were playing, and was so angry with Kaikeyi asking Rama, his beloved deity, to go to forest that and it was just drama. He forgot all that. What a wretch you are that you are giving trouble to my Rama. Just see love for Rama. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. He was totally absorbed, and he went with a torch, burning torch, that is mashal, and that and then was going to burn the face. He had become so like so immersed in the thought of Rama. He felt that it is real. That much was the love for Rama. You can imagine the love for Rama that Haladhari had. Totally forgot that. Sri Ramakrishna also used to get absorbed seeing the theaters, and when this our Girish Ghosh Theatre was there of Chaitanya Leela, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming, going, and he was becoming a monk. And Sri Ramakrishna would shed tears of love while seeing that theatre. And after the theatre was over, he went to the green room and blessed the actors. That time, holy people, even common people avoided these actors. They were not of great character and all that. That was the saying. But Sri Ramakrishna forgot all about the character and all that person. He was so pure. He could not drink the water if a person who is to speak lie, tell a lie, gave him water. He could not drink that water. That very Sri Ramakrishna went to the actor after the theater and blessed them, putting his hand on them. One was Nati Vinodini. So, and he said, seeing your drama, it has become one. The acting and the natural had become one, as if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had come on the stage and doing so much. So much he was impressed with the acting and was immersed in the thought of Chaitanya. That Sri Ramakrishna used to do, and he's saying about the Haradhari. So much he had love for Rama that he could not think somebody is giving trouble to Rama, asking him to go forest. So it was village drama, theater. You see that natural he was. So it's so emotional, so love for God of Haladhari that showing that he says that way. He was a very pious man. So in village, that Haladhari's father. After finishing his ablution, three incidents. One he says about the below leaves and flower. Another the becoming his love for Rama in theater even. And whoever gave trouble to Rama, we couldn't understand even in theater. The third one, you see. After finishing his ablutions, he would stand in the water and meditate on the deity, reciting the invocation, I meditate on thee of red hue and four faces, while tears streamed down his cheeks. Rakta Varnam Chaturmukham. So naturally he was meditating on Brahma. The red-faced God is a Brahma, having four faces on four sides, Chaturmukham. So, and it was not just reciting mantra; it was total absorption in God, and tears would flow because you could see the Brahma, the deity Brahma, manifesting, living in his sight, and he used to shed the tears of joy during that meditation, standing in water. So much of devotion these village people had. He praises Haladhari's father so much. Now he will talk about his own father, you see. When my father walked along the lanes of the village wearing his wooden sandals, the shopkeepers would stand up out of respect and say, there he comes. When he bathed in the Haldar Pukur, the villagers would not have the courage to get into the water. Before bathing, they would inquire if he had finished his bath. So, another thing, how people respect the honesty, devotion, and truthfulness. Sri Ramakrishna's father, Khudiram Chatterjee, he came from a village called the Dere village. Dere village, he was prosperous, he had land, he has quite very well off his decent life he was living in the village with his kids, three sons and two daughters. And then what happened? The landlord of that village, and he was very famous as a ungreedy person, selfless person, devoted to God, never telling a lie, truthful to the core of his heart. That was quite famous in Dere village. The Jamidar wanted to grab the land of another client and to give witness to in the court that land belonged to Jamidar. He said, who will the court believe? If Khudiram says court would believe. Like our uh, saying in the Mahabharata, Arjuna, this not Dhritarashtra, Arjuna's the eldest brother. If he says, then everyone will believe. That's why Aswathama Hataiti Gaja. Huh? That like that. Here also, the Jamidar said, "Can you give witness on behalf of me?" And Khudiram said, "No, I cannot tell a lie. And particularly to deprive something of his legal right and to grab his land, never I will do that." Then Jamidar was a powerful man. He said, "You won't side with me, you won't listen to me, I will punish you." What he did, Jamidar put a false case against Khudiram and grabbed all his property and land and made him leave village without any penny. Khudiram, with two children, Sri Ramakrishna was not yet born, two young children and two sons and two daughters, he left his own village. And unperturbed, he came. He found some friend in the village of Kamarpukur. They knew about this whole vindictiveness of the Jamidar of Dere village, and he gave him a little land, a very small piece but very fertile land, and he gave the shelter. Then he established there. Very now it is reduced property, and like a refugee came, but he was unperturbed. He never repented for not siding with falsehood, for not giving up truth and bearing so much difficulty. Then he was not rich at all. He was very poor and used to earn some money from the land. Little he had some crop or something for feed his family, and a little money he used to get from priesthood. That also he was very discriminating. He used to go only to the pure person and not for love for money. He had no greed for money at all. Such saintly was the father of Sri Ramakrishna. And that's why Sri Ramakrishna, God is born in his house as Sri Ram, as a Gadadhar. And then when in village, how much that person earned the respect from the villagers. Even when he walked in the lanes, would stand up. The shopkeepers would stand up in honor. He was nothing. He had no power, no money, no power, nothing. But what was his power? Was his truthfulness, honesty, love of God. That was intact in him. Very ideal human being. This purity, strength of character, and purity of mind, it always conquers the hearts of others. And he says, not only the shopkeepers stood up when he was walking out of respect, but even when he went to take bath in the Haldarpur, there's one big pond, still there, Haldarpur near our ashram in Kamat. There, when he went to take bath, when he came, other people will not go. They will wait for him to take the dip first and come out, and then they would take dip. So much of respect he earned for his spiritual qualities and for his love of God, the true lover of God that he was. Says Sri Ramakrishna reminisces about his own father. How great was he? When my father chanted the name of Raghuvir, his chest would turn crimson. So how much devoted, deep devotion was there. Chanting the mantra become all blood flows to the heart, full of emotion, full of love of God. In the heart they will chant, and the chest would flush, become flushed with crimson, become red with emotion of love for God. Just while chanting the mantra, this chanting the mantra has a great effect in our mind. It really, some people are doing research how this chanting of mantra or meditation affects the very waves of our mind. Alpha wave, gamma wave, beta wave, theta wave. There are different waves of the mind. So this alpha waves, theta waves, all they come when mind is peaceful and calm. Beta waves when you're active and passionate. So these all, when you do that, that creates the mind wave are created in the mind, and mind structure change, mind, the thought process change, very quality of thought changes when we do some chanting. and also meditation. There has been proven, medically proven, that there is a change in the structure of the brain when you are a spiritual person. When you have given up your this in Sri Ramakrishna language, lust and greed, you have given up. Your mind structure, your brain structure starts changing, and your mind quality changes. Your thought quality changes when you do that. And Sri Ramakrishna's father used to have that emotional joy when he chanted the name of Raghuveer, Stotras of Raghuveer. Not only that, Sri Ramakrishna says, this also happened to me. When I saw the cows at Vrindavan returning from the pasture, I transported into a divine mood and my body became red. And he says his own incident. And he used to cry there. I see everything like the other day when Krishna was there. Where are you, Krishna? The cow was coming. It is dusk time. There is Yamuna, there is tree, there is everything, cowherd boys. But where are you, O Krishna? He used to cry and pant for Krishna as he did for Mother Kali in Dakshineshwar earlier. He had gone to pilgrimage with um, our um, Mathur Babu to Vrindavan, and that's how when his experience is saying that he also turned red by emotion when he saw that scenery. Very strong was the faith of the people in those days. One hears that God used to dance then, taking the form of Kali, when the devotee clapped his hands, keeping time. Where it happened? It happened in the case of Ram Prasad. Ram Prasad saw Mother Kali coming. That was the fate, not too many years before Sri Ramakrishna. That time he says, but all this is in our own age. They say Kali Yuga and Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. That yuga depends on where your mind is. If our mind is in God, now it is Satya Yuga. We live in Satya Yuga. If our mind is worldliness, I live even in Satya Yuga, I would be in Kali Yuga. So it depends what is the state of our mind. According to that, the yuga changes. Yuga is not that Satya Yuga is all. There are asuras in Satya Yuga. There are so nice person in Kali Yuga. There are so incarnations of God in Kali Yuga. Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Ramana Maharshi, all are in Kali Yuga. What is Kali Yuga? When God walks with you, and in that yuga, you see, when the Mother Kali used to come like a small girl, little girl, and the devotee used to clap, give the thing, and mother used to dance. How mother helped to make the fence in life of Ramprasad, you will read. Mother came as a little girl, and she started helping Ramprasad, who was fencing his garden. So like that, it happens, it has happened. That's why beautiful song, in model song says, who says that Krishna doesn't eat? You don't know how to feed him, how to call him. That's why you cannot feed him. You cannot, Krishna doesn't come. If you can call him with your pure heart, Krishna reveals still today. Mm, That's what the Sri Ramakrishna is saying, that that time was so, people used to have with simple faith. The devoted people are there everywhere. In the village also, there are so many devoted people. Now he comes to the modern time and what happening in Dakshineswar. A Hatha yogi was staying in the hut at the Panchavati. It is I am saying, okay, it's not Sri Ramakrishna saying, it's saying the incident, what is going to happen now. A Hatha yogi was staying in the hut at the Panchavati. Ram Prasanna, the son of Krishna Kishore of Aryadaha, and several other men had become his devotees. The yogi needed 25 rupees a month for his milk and opium. So Ramprasanna had requested Sri Ramakrishna to speak to his devotees about the yogi and get some money. The master said to several devotees, a Hatha yogi has come to the Panchavati. Go and visit him. See what sort of man he is. So, this was the Hatha yogi that time he needed a lot of milk. Sri Ramakrishna's priestly salary was only 5 rupees a month. And this Hatha yogi needed 25 rupees for milk. How much milk he used to drink, we don't know. And opium is needed. Opium is not for, generally, opium was common that time as a medicine. medicine for stomach trouble. There used to be people, because of water not being very clean, they used to drink that Ganga water just with little alum. They used to settle the dust, it is clean, and then that they used to eat. And the stomach problem lot they had to have. And to cure the stomach problem, many used to eat opium. And eating opium for curing stomach problem, they get addicted and needed opium every day, some amount of opium along with the milk. And someone came, this Krishna Kishore's son, and said to Sri Ramakrishna, can you tell your devotees to give some money to them? He needs so much money. Now Sri Ramakrishna cannot directly say. He said, can you go and say him? It has to be told by them. Why will convince people to give money to them? So he knows what is the role of Hatha Yogi. Hatha Yogi only shows the technique of bodily movements, flexibility, and all that. Hatha Yogi is not a spiritual activity. So he said that go and see Hatha Yogi. He's staying in Panchavati. We read in how Panchavati or this Dakshineshwar had become very popular destination for pilgrims that time, who used to go to either Puri or Ganga Sagar, used to come and stay in Dakshineshwar. It was people could stay, and food was given for Kali temple, and there was forest for their thing. Ganga was nearby, and it was on the way. So people used to come, pilgrims used to come during Ganga Sagar time or to go to Dakshineshwar. Very convenient place because of food, and they could get place to stay, and also there is water and other necessity. And one person came instead and used to say other sadhu, go there, that is a nice place. Dakshineshwar is a nice place. As someone comes from somewhere, you come to Machu Picchu, from Machu Picchu, I want to go to Machu Picchu. That's where did you stay? How did you go? We ask. Like that, they used to say, you went to Ganga Sagar. How did you go? Where did you stay? Oh, we stayed in this place, this place, this place. When we went near Calcutta, we stayed in Dakshineshwar. And there is a very nice place. There is a temple of Rani Rasmani built, and there you can have the free food, and nice food. And you don't have to bother for that. And the water is nearby, everything facility is there. And why this news came, everybody was the is most favored destination for people to visit Dakshineshwar. Like that was Kamarpukur also. Kamarpukur was a big village, and that was popular. It was on the way to your Puri, Jagannath Puri. People used to stay there because it was a big village, and people in the big villagers used to give some alms. That's why Sri Ramakrishna could come and listen to the talk and their Shastra Charcha, where they were talking about scriptures and discussing about that. If Sri Ramakrishna was born in Dere village, it was a small village, nothing would be there. Like with that type of Zamidar who wants to only grab land and money, what would Sri Ramakrishna? It would not be suited for Avatara to grow there. So all this divine plan that Khudiram was ousted from that village. Or if you see in hindsight, you will find all was for good. Everything that happens in life is for good. All of the plan. So he could come to Kamarpukur and he could meet that monks, listen from them about the spirituality, about the shastras, and also used to give, when the monks could not find the solution, small boy would to go and listen to what they are talking and say that they couldn't come to solution, conclusion. You would say, no, it should be this way. A small 7-year, 8-year-old boy is to give some comments, and those sadhus would say, yes, you have got the right point. He was so wise in that age also. That's how Kamarpukur became popular destination, popular halt for the pilgrims to Jagannath, and Dakshineshwar was also popular halt. This Hatha Yogi also hearing that he came. Now he doesn't want only shelter and Mother Kali's Prasad food. He wants now milk of 25 rupees per month. Why you have to stay 1 month there? So he wants to stay 1 month now. He wants to make adda there and stay and do that. And that has to be supplied by the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. And he's not a spiritual person. He does just show up at a yogi. They can stand on head for a long time. They can bend their body and like that thing. And people are impressed. Krishna Kishore's son was impressed. And that Sri Ramakrishna says, I said to them, the people who come here, go and visit him. See what sort of man he is. Judge for yourself. He didn't say anything about that person. Go and find out what sort of man. Now another incident. A young man, M is writing, a young man of 27 or 28, known as Thakur Dada, entered the room with a few friends and saluted the master. He lived at Varanagar and was the son of a Brahmin Pandit. He was practicing the Katha Katha uh, in order to earn money to meet his family expenses. At one time, he had been seized with the spirit of renunciation and had gone away from his family. Even now, he practiced spiritual discipline at home. The Katha Katha's footnote is there. The recital of stories from religious books with appropriate music, the musical rendition of the stories of the scriptural books, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, all that. So that is Katha Katha that he used to do, and his name was Thakur Dada. Not to be confused with Dada Thakur. There was one person just after Sri Ramakrishna, Dada Thakur. He was a great Bengali literature and social reformer, social service, and quite famous during his own time. And there was a movie made when he was alive, Dada Thakur, that time. He was, I think, after Swami Vivekananda. It is Thakur Dada. His name was Thakur Dada. Master, have you come on foot? Where do you live? Yes, sir. I have walked from home. I live in Baranagar. It was March 23, quite warm that time. If you go in March nowadays, also quite warm. So he had to walk in sun from Baranagar to Dakshineswar, at least 1 hour to walk. So it would be quite tiresome for people. So he's asking whether he came by carriage or horse carriage by or walking. And he says, yes, I have walked from home. I live in Baranagar. Master, have you come here for any particular purpose? Dada, I have come here to visit you. I pray to God, but why do I suffer now and then from worries? For a few days, I feel very happy. Why do I feel restless afterwards? Practical problem of every one of us that Dada Thakur is asking to Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes we feel so good, after some time feel the same thing, worries, anxieties, fear, insecurity, all that grab. And sometimes we don't think about those things. We feel as if we have conquered the fear of death, we have conquered worries, anxieties, what is there, God is there to be. Other time it all comes. So why that happens? He said, Thakur Dada. Thakur Dada says, Master, I see things have not been fitted quite exactly. The machine works smoothly if the mechanic fits the cogs of the wheels correctly. In your case, there is an obstruction somewhere. Dada, yes, sir, that must be so. Master, are you initiated? Dada, yes, sir. Master, do you have faith in your mantra? Now, before he gave the answer, Yam says about other thing. A friend of Thakur Dada said that the latter could sing well. The master asked him to sing. So Thakur Dada didn't answer about the mantra thing because his friend interrupted. And because they knew Sri Ramakrishna loved music and songs, they said Thakur Dada can sing. So should we sing? So Thakur Dada is singing now. Sri Ramakrishna um, requested him to sing. And Thakudara sang a song, I shall become a yogi and dwell in love's mountain cave. I shall be lost in yoga beside the fountainhead of bliss. I shall appease my hunger for knowledge with the fruit of truth. I shall worship the feet of God with the flower of dispassion. I shall not seek a well to slake the burning thirst of my heart, but I shall draw the water of peace into the jar of my soul. Drinking the glorious nectar of thy blessed lotus feet, I shall both laugh and dance, and weep and sing on the heights of joy. Very figurative and very spiritual song that to fill oneself with the joy and the devotion to God. So, more taking towards God. Master was very happy. Master says, ah, what a nice song! Fountainhead of bliss, fruit of truth, laugh and dance and weep and sing. Your song tastes very sweet to me. Why should you worry? So, two things, but why should you worry? One is you sing so beautiful songs that you must, something of it must have gone to your heart. Another is, I like your song. Why should you worry? Unless you had sung with pure heart, I would have not liked. When God made me like your song means that you have already attained some purity of heart. That's why you could make your song so sweet you could sing. So why do you worry? You are already ahead in the spiritual path. So that's what Sri Ramakrishna says to him. Why should you worry? Um, Pleasure and pain are inevitable in the life of the world. One suffers now and then from a little worry and trouble. A man living in a room full of soot cannot avoid being a little stained. Dada, please tell me what I should do now. Master, chant the name of Hari morning and evening, clapping your hands. Come once more when my arm is healed a bit. So he asked him to come so that his devotion is roused, and he says, he's all saying, repeat God's name, clapping your hands. And he used to say, when you clap hands, the sin from the birds fly when you clap hands from the tree. Similarly, sins from your mind will fly away when you clap your hands, singing the name of God, repeating the name of God. That he was, and singing also, when we try to make focus on something, we should try to put whole soul. And one is your mind trying to put there, and then your speech when you sing loudly, mind thinking of God, and speech you're speaking the name of God, and your bodily action also, you're clapping your hands, giving rhythm to your repeating God's name. So whole your body, mind, and spirit all are engaged in the thought of God, in God. So it makes progress easier. How beautifully Sri Ramakrishna said that. He was really a seeker. This um, Thakur, Thakur Dada was really a seeker, and Sri Ramakrishna very sincerely told him the simple method: chant the name of Hari morning and evening, clapping your hands. Come once more when my arm is healed a bit. Still, he had that broken arm. So he would talk. He would like to talk to him. Sometimes this what he said, and some people may think, oh, just he said take the name of God, clapping your hand. How can my am I getting worried after some time and falling back to the worldly fear? How it will go? Just by that it will go away? Yes, what Sri Ramakrishna says is so practical. Once one young man came, and he asked, how can I be free from lust? Swami Yogananda, that one he became yogi. And Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, repeat the name of God. Then Yogananda thought, how can repeating lust, conquering lust is so difficult thing? And he said, just repeat the name of God, lust will go away. Perhaps doesn't know, or he made it too simple. Seeing me just gave at, oh, do that just to avoid me. He must have done. He didn't say the full prescription for that you should sit on a thorny bed, and you put one two hands up for 1 hour and keep yourself in water with one leg you stand, and like that the lust will be conquered. He had heard something how lust is conquered, so difficult to conquer, and he's saying repeat the name of God and your lust will be gone, you will conquer the lust. So he didn't really feel that right thing was said to him. Then after some time, he thought, "Let me do." He has said he's a saintly person. All respect him like God incarnate, the great saint. So let me do the thing he has said. So when he meets, I meet him next. I could say him. I did the repeating name, but nothing happened. He started repeating the name of God, and to his surprise, his lust was gone. He became pure-minded. So that's how Sri Ramakrishna's all guidance is so powerful, seeming so simple but so powerful are his guidance. Repeat the name of God, clapping your hand. Mahima Charan entered the room. He was another great person that Sri Ram, he had good contact with Sri Ramakrishna, and saluted the master. These are all great Pandits, Mahima Charan. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, ah, he has sung a nice song. Please sing it again. Thakur Dada repeated the song. So he made Thakur Dada sing. He must have enjoyed singing, and it was a great honor for Mahimacharan also. For one person, whole thing was repeated, and all could listen to that beautiful song once again. Master to Mahima, please recite that verse The one about devotion to Hari, Mahimacharan recited. Sri Ramakrishna used to often ask this Mahimacharan to recite this. What need is there of penance if God is worshipped with love? What is the use of penance if God is not worshipped with love? What need is there of penance if God is seen within and without? What is the use of penance if God is not seen within and without? When God is not attained, what is the need of penance? Nantar bahis jadi hari tapasa tatakim. If you cannot find hari inside or outside, na antar bahi. What your penance will do? If you cannot have any idea of God outside or inside, doing lot of tapasya, fasting, pilgrimage, nothing will happen, nothing will help you. Antarbahishchati hari tapasa tatakim. And if you have found God inside and outside, then what is the need of doing tapasya? Nothing in there. You have already attained the thing. That's why this verse says, Nantar bahishchati hari tapasa tatakim. Antar bahishchati hari tapasa tatakim. So this song, Sri Ramakrishna, Master, recite that part also. Obtain from him the love of God. Mahima recited. O Brahman, O my child, cease from practicing further penances. Hasten to Shankara, the ocean of heavenly wisdom. Obtain from him the love of God, the pure love praised by devotees, which snaps in twain the shackles of that bind you to the world. It is not Brahman, it should be Brahman. Oh Brahman, oh, he invokes the Brahman. Oh Brahman. O my child, and then he says to the devotee, O my child, cease from practicing further penances. Hasten to Shankara, the Shiva, the ocean of heavenly wisdom. Obtain from him the love of God, the pure love praised by devotees, which snaps in twain the shackles that bind you to the world. Master, yes, Shankara will bestow the love of God, Mahima. One who is free from bondage is the eternal Shiva. So when we are devoted to God, He can grant us what we need. And who is real Shiva? One who is freed from bondage is Shiva. That Shivoham, Shivoham. When one has realized that, he has become like Shiva. Realize that the truth of Vedanta, he has become like Shiva, Sri Ramakrishna. Um, Mahima says, one who is free from bondage is the eternal Shiva. Master, shame, hatred, fear, hesitation. These are the shackles. Lajja, Grina, Bhoy. These are the shackles of shackles. What do you say, Mahima? Yes, sir. And also the desire to conceal and shrinking before praise. These are also shackles, shrinking before praise. Okay, he says that desire to conceal something, you are not open, not transparent, and you shrink before praise. Where he found that shrinking before praise, not liking the praise. I think he means that here, shrinking before praise is also the shackle. That means don't give importance to praise. When you say shrinking before praise, oh no, I am nothing. When someone is praying, no, don't praise me, I am nothing, I really don't deserve. When someone says that, he really enjoying the praise. That I think he says that shrinking before praise is also a shackle, it is a bondage. Mahima means to say that. So be neutral to praise or blame. That is the Vedantic teaching for a person to become holy and to have purity of heart. So Master says shame, hatred, fear, and hesitation. So lajja, grina, bhoy, and hesitation is not trying to do the spiritual hesitation in doing some spiritual practice. What people will say, like that thing often people say, that is the hesitation. He says about the spiritual practice. Are the shackles? What do you say? So they met in that word. These are the beautiful words that Sri Ramakrishna is talking with some scholars. They have come, some devotees. They have come, and he's talking about God, and he is distributing the nectar of his words from his own experience, from his memoirs of the great saints. All is about God and God, the people who love God, and what from very ordinary people, not famous, not saints, just the father of Haradari, Sri Ramakrishna's father, not people the world knows, world know about them, but they are so highly evolved devotees of God. So there are people, many are there. In the world, we often see people are so negative attitude, so selfish, so cruel, so greedy. We also see that around the world. But there are in this very world, in this very age, in our times, in our surroundings, there are people who are really good people. We can't understand them. We can see, find goodness in them. So seeing goodness in the people around us creates a great joy when we can find that, and trying to see the good quality in people, even in the people whom we think that that people is too bragging, too much talks about himself or herself. Maybe there are some very good qualities in that person. He may be very helpful when you are in need. He may be very kind in his words, but some qualities we focus more on the negative qualities and brand that person has too much bragging about oneself, and looking after only after the things, too much greedy, or we say too much hankering for position, only one bad quality, and we focus on that and label that person with that quality which we think is bad, with our imperfect knowledge and with our idea of that person. But we can't understand what goodness are hidden in that person. If we can find, there will be a lot good things in, even in the person which we say he is not that good person. So our trying to find goodness, trying to find the divine in other person, that will make us divine. That will be the reflection of our heart. So when we focus on the negative thing of a person, then it shows, it becomes a reflection of our own mind, that we are like that, because that only we see when we see that person. So we have to try to be more positive and have the positive attitude for the people around us, that there are good person, devoted person, the person who really feel for others, really feel for their family and parents. There might be people who feel for their parents. That is good quality. When seeing good quality in others, we feel very happy, and those quality we develop. That's always the spiritual way, how to make ourselves better, by seeing goodness in others, trying to find the goodness in others, and trying to not see anything that is shortcoming in others. Then we can make our mind more pure. The goal is to make our mind pure and see the right thing, and have that can be done through love of God, by seeing with the people goodness among our colleagues. And when really there are good persons, only to talk about goodness. Sometimes what happens, two persons are very devoted to some particular idea, but when they meet, they start talking about the third person, that, oh, that person was so much showy. Do you see how she was talking about her clothes and ornaments? And do good persons, but something negative about third person, which is not totally useless talk. So we have to be always at guard what we are talking, when even when we meet the devotees. We should talk about God, about the positive things about others. That will make our mind happy. When you talk bad about some people, even about bad people, you talk bad, your mind becomes bad. And about bad people, you find some good and talk good, you will find you are so happy, and you'll forget why you feel so happy today. Generally, you are not so happy. Oh, I was talking good about that person. It has so positive effect when we think good, speak good, talk about goodness. So those are all positive things that will improve the quality of our mind. Thank you very much for being in the class today, and we close the class with the pranam mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padpadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmu. Good night to all those who are watching online, connected online, and good night to all those have assembled here in person, and all please have prasad before leaving. Those who are here in person, thank you very much. Where is that in the stream?